In this morning's Digital Dive, this viral video from Hugo over the weekend showing protesters outside of the home of Minneapolis Police Union President Bob Kroll asking for his resignation is not why this video has since gone viral. Take a closer look at this video. One of the speakers at the protest is John Thompson, who recently won the DFL primary for a state house seat earlier this month. In this video, captured by the media outlet Unicorn Riot, Thompson appears to respond to a neighbor in Kroll's neighborhood with this message.
Come on over here with your Blue Lives Matter sign. Blue Lives ain't and if people in Hugo don't support black people, Hugo, Minnesota.
Now, the video later shows Thompson striking an effigy of Kroll and his wife, WCCO anchor Liz Collin, which sparked a lot of outrage online. And Thompson declined multiple interview requests, but he did post this to Facebook, saying, "My comments on Saturday were not helpful. Inflammatory rhetoric is not how I want to address the important issues we're facing, and I apologize." Now, Bob Kroll says the protesters should not have targeted his neighborhood or his family, saying, quote, "They have no role in this matter. My wife has no role in this matter. My family has no role." And Governor Tim Walz, in response to Thompson, who he has endorsed, says we cannot accept the threatening behavior and rhetoric we've seen recently in our political discourse. Neither the governor nor the DFL have dropped their endorsements ahead of the upcoming election come November. Now, the Washington County Sheriff's Office, as well as the county attorney, reviewed this incident, reviewed this video, and they say they didn't find any evidence of any felonies being committed. And so many journalists, Gia, including the Society of Professional Journalists, condemning the striking of the effigies that we all saw in this video of Bob Kroll and his wife, calling it a direct threat to them.
Yeah, and as we know, so many emotions still high after George Floyd's killing and all those folks who died before him as well. Alicia, thank you.